Hey, Ronald, my man. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I am living and learning, Elisha, as we speak.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And thank you so very much for being here. You say, I truly appreciate it. And you see, Ronald, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say, Ronald, thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Rona, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. You see, the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. It was such a special moment for me that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing runner that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to say nope to you. And getting to read a little bit about you, what you do, your insights, your philosophies, the impact your work is having, it's amazing. And I just couldn't wait for this conversation to happen. So I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. And secondly, thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let's get started, Ronald. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for two reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Ronald, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you say, Ronald, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Ronald on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, Ronald, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, well, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey. Because right now, we are just so curious. We want to know how Ronald got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Ronald, over to you.
Elisha, you're asking me a question that would take a lifetime to explain to you or express to you. And also, unbeknownst to you, I crave attention, Elisha. And the reason why I'm here, unbeknownst to most of the people, is that I'm getting your attention. And that is something that I have never really allowed myself to appreciate because when I was a kid, I got a belief that it's not okay to get attention because people won't like me. And I didn't realize that I crave attention because there's this energy that we are sharing that is sometimes not acknowledged. And you may have heard the phrase pay attention. Well, I was told by a financial friend of mine that the reason why we say pay attention is because the financial investment of our energy is value. And I never really appreciated the value of getting attention because it would make me nervous or it would make me shy. And then, because of one of my adventures, I found out that it's not shyness to get attention, it's the opposite, which is feeling alive. And I was not allowed to feel alive because no one around me ever made me aware of, you're not shy, you're feeling alive. That shyness is a label that once we make it, we don't experience the feeling of the energy moving in our body. And when energy moves in our body without acknowledgement, it flows. But once we acknowledge it, oh, that's what it is. And my body stops the energy from flowing, causes a little bit of a tribulation or a nervousness, which keeps the energy stuck. And because I was so needy of attention, I would keep the energy inside of me and not realize that it's meant to be shared. So when I take a look at a beautiful woman and I get that funny feeling, I found out that I was so needy of her attention that I took all this energy inside and kept it inside, and we label it shyness. Where now, when I see a beautiful woman and I share my energy with her energy, or when I'm in front of a group of people and I feel that nervousness and I share my energy with the audience and it flows, we're all alive and we're not really yet willing to accept it. So I'm teaching myself to wake up that I'm alive. I'm a human being. And this aliveness allows me to have this, in quotes, experience of this connection of energy with you. And when you are also interested in what I'm interested in, I get so excited because we're sharing this inquiry, we're sharing this awareness, we're sharing this curiosity between the two of us. And imagine that everybody who's listening and watching, that they have the same excitement that they're sharing with us. And we share with all the people that are in our experience. I don't want to say anything. I want to be in this moment if I could keep my mouth shut.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now I understood something. Shyness and being alive. Hmm. And feeling like living the moment. I get it. Okay, so I've got this few questions. Are you
No, I'm not ready for you, but I'm ready for
okay, so I'm just a bit curious, alright. What inspired you to begin working with individuals and groups? Action planning over 30.
I found out that I like to talk. There are people out there that like to see things and then talk. There are people out there that like to feel things and then they talk. I found out I enjoy talking for the sake of communicating. But a lot of people out there will talk to get something done or will talk with a purpose, not just enjoying the conversation. And I realized because of my arguments with my brother and my mother that we were speaking a different language. I was speaking auditorially, and my brothers were speaking either visually or kinesthetically, and that caused a perturbation in our understanding because, from my experience, my conscious mind prefers the auditory. My subconscious mind which takes in the information, prefers kinesthetic to feel how it sounds, and then I create unconsciously visually. Well, not everybody's like me. And if you are, as an example, a visual thinker, like a mathematician or an engineer, you want to see things first and then maybe discuss it. Well, I would have to go unconscious to access the visual so that you will understand me. And you would have to go unconscious to understand the auditory. And that becomes perturbating because you favor one sense, but you access another sense just to understand, and it becomes perturbating. And I noticed that when I was a kid, I found out two things. One, I didn't realize I was speaking a foreign language, talking, where people around me like to see things. And it took me a wake up call of learning NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Have you experienced it? Okay, what you're going to have to do, which you don't have to, is to realize that there's a science out there called Neuro-Linguistic Programming that changed my way of understanding. And neuro means mind, linguistic is language, and programming is we're so programmed, Elisha, we don't even know we're programmed. And you have a certain way of expressing yourself. You use all your senses, but you'll prefer one over the other because that's the way you were created. And I became aware that when I'm talking with you, if we are going to accomplish something, there has to be a one page for both of us. But right now, in conversation, you're on one page, you have your reality and experiences. I'm on another page, I have my reality. We have two conversations going on, overlapping. So, what I became aware of is that if you and I wanted to start to do something, and we are on one page, which is a blank page, which is my computer screen, and we decide, as an example, we want to start a business. So on the screen, that one page, we put your conversation and my conversation as one conversation. So you get a chance to see my thoughts. I get a chance to see your thoughts to find out, hey, let's find a way of being on one page where up until now we're on two different pages. And on the one page, as an example, we would put down, we've never worked before together. Second one is, we haven't decided on the business. And we put our thoughts, we want to work together because we feel this connection, but we don't know what it is. We put on the screen what you would like to do, what I would like to do, and find out if they are balanced or they're overlapping. And I have found out, have you heard the phrase, I see what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, in my world, that means something, literally.
On the-
And what it means is I picture what you're saying. So if you're going to picture what we're saying, and I'm going to picture what we're saying, let's have a picture. Let's paint a picture of what we're saying. And most of the world doesn't understand the value and the benefit of picturing what we're saying. And I have proven over the last 25 years that if you and I are going to do anything together, let's have one picture. And it's a little bit perturbating because we're not used to seeing our thinking, so that I have proven that when we see our thinking, we have more clarity than guessing what we're going to do together, which is what most of the world does when they want to plan. The second thing I became aware of is I hated practicing. I never enjoyed practicing piano or anything over and over again, like studying. So I noticed I would practice once or twice my studies and then go into the exam. And of course, I would get a C or fail. never getting never getting an A or B because I didn't practice enough. And in sports and in entertainment, you know as well as I do, you would never go on stage, you would never go into a sport event without
I'll practice
practicing.
it. Yeah.
But in our life, which is more important than anything else, we don't practice because we like being in the moment.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I have proven now at this stage, 6 months ago, Elisha, I found a passion playing 8 ball pool. And I found out after all these years, now I realize why I enjoy practicing because it puts all the different talents and experiences and lessons and failures that I learned over the years that when I'm on a table and I'm hitting the cue ball into the other balls, the world could disappear because there's something about the passion of focusing on doing one thing that I've had a challenge with most of my life. So the thing I'll share with you, what's most important is to understand how we understand, which is a whole nother world. We don't even know how we understand. To realize that we have one perception, but we could have an audio perception, a visual, a feeling perception, a smelling perception, a tasting perception. And when we bring in those different senses into what we're doing, we have a better chance of finding what we are passionate about. And the reason why we aren't passionate is because we were taught not to be passionate, because very few people know what it's like to teach to be passionate. So I want you to do something for me. So you're going to work for me. I don't care about if what you think. So you may not be able to be passionate because you have to do something that's really not for you because you got to make a living. And when I have found out is that it took me 81 years to get to this lesson that I want to share with young people, but a lot of young people are not interested in growing, not interested in learning, not curious like you are. And I crave to meet people like you for my own benefit so you can teach me things and I can teach you things that we can enjoy living this life, which is a magical something or other.
I tell you. That's amazing. Your journey and your perspective, the way you put it, it's amazing. I love it. Thank you for
Now,
sharing that.
keep in mind what I have to interrupt you with is that for you to recognize this, for you, Elisha, to recognize this, you already have the makeup in your psyche already, just waiting there to be woken up.
Broken up, and you just did. Amazing. So I'm still a bit curious. Just this one last question. So, how do you help clients move from in to real measurable
Having a conversation on the screen where they put their thinking turns everything into a measurable activity. As an example, say, what would you like to accomplish in over the next 6 months? What's one thing that you would love to be able to say to me, Ron? In 6 months, I accomplished what?
Hmm. Several things.
No, no,
Let's
no.
say.
Listen to me. Listen to
Okay,
me
should I
very
ask you the
carefully.
question? Okay,
The question is, the question is,
okay,
tell me one thing that you would like to accomplish.
okay. Tell me one thing that you would like to
Yes, tell me.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Okay, you're asking me. Yeah, I wanna get some several different kind of pets now. It's been on my mind lately. Like,
So I'll ask you again. I want you to listen to my question. It is now 6 months from now. It is September 2025. And you're saying, Ron, we spoke back in April. I have achieved what?
I've achieved getting the cats, the pets that I want.
Okay. And okay, so on the screen, it says it is now September 2025, and I have one cat, two cats. How many?
So
Okay, I have three cats. And how do you feel now that you have three cats?
I feel good, because I've achieved what I wanted to achieve concerning that.
So on the screen, you see the words, I feel good because I achieved what I wanted.
Right.
You follow? Okay, now come back to today. And on the screen, I want you to write down what's stopping you from getting three cats today. What? What would you say is stopping you right now getting off the computer, say, Ron, excuse me, but I am going to get three cats today. What's stopping you from saying that right now?
Hmm. That would be having time.
Okay, so I don't have time for cats. What else is stopping you from getting the cats?
That's all. Just the
Pardon?
time. The time. Having time.
And okay, so the time is the only issue.
That.
So how much do you want to have a cat?
Hmm.
But not enough, but not, and on the screen it says I don't have time for cats. And when I ask you about stopping you, you are not really clear on what's stopping you from having the cats today.
Hmm. Yeah.
Correct?
Not correct.
But there is something stopping you because there's nothing stopping you, but there's something stopping you in your thinking. So if I say to you, guess what? When we finish this call, you are going to take one step towards getting one cat. What would that step be?
That step would be trying to create time, manage my time, so I can have time for this. So I work
So,
towards creating time for it.
so right now, you really don't want a cat.
Not right now.
Right now, but tomorrow you may.
Yeah, that
So instead of trying to find time, realize right now you could stop me right now and says, Ron, I'm going to go get a cat right now. Correct?
correct.
Okay. And if I said instead of doing our 20 minutes, we're going to do 15 minutes, you're going to spend 5 minutes getting a cat, you could do that, correct? But the thing is, Elisha, the true Elisha, doesn't want you to get a cat right now because if you don't have time for the cat, you may not give the cats the kind of time that they need.
Exactly. That's exactly.
So give yourself some space and say, at this moment, up until now, I wanted to have a cat, but I don't really want to have a cat right now. But maybe tomorrow I will, and maybe I'll make it more important to have a cat because I have a cat. It takes responsibility. It takes
That's right.
time, and if you don't have time for a cat, maybe you're at least just saying, don't get a cat, please, right now
I
because
tell you.
you won't take care of them the way you would want to.
Yeah, exactly. I will be able to take
Does that make sense?
a lot. Absolutely. You see, now I
So
see why you're so good at what.
on the screen, Elisha, on the screen, I have this conversation. And when you see the conversation out there, you may decide, hey, I don't really want one right now. And all I'm doing is reflecting back what Elisha is maybe quietly whispering to you, and I'm yelling it in your face.
Amazing, amazing. Ah, that's a beautiful one. I got that. I got that. Thank you so very
So
much,
this is
man.
what I do with people, Elisha, with anything. I sit down with people with the computer anywhere in the world, and on the screen I have written, I'm going to have three cats. I feel good about it. And then we come back to what's stopping you from having the cats. And a lot of it is just our thinking. A lot of it is that you Elisha is saying to you, don't get a cat right now because you're not going to give them the time if you don't have the time for them. So don't get it right now. And imagine that you may find time that's important for the cat as much as you. And you may be teaching yourself, let's respect me and the cats before I just go out and get them, because I could get them right now immediately, but I don't have time for them right now. So be aware of that. And once you're aware of the truth, you may find out that all of a sudden, hey, I want to find time for the cats. I'm going to find time for the cats. The way you found time for me, you're going to find time for the cats.
Mm.
And imagine if you start interviewing the cats. When you have the cats, you're sitting down with them. Imagine you're spending time with the cat and you're interviewing them, which is what you
Mm.
do. You
So
make an interview of the cats once a day or once a week.
I tell you, I can't
You
wait for
found
that.
time for them.
That's amazing, my man. To bring this to an end, Ron, for folks who would like to reach out to you, ask questions, or who would love to learn more about everything we've discussed so far, how can that?
No, people don't want to reach out to me, Elisha. They love the ideas, but they're afraid to to tap into who they really are. And I have found out over the years, I would love to talk to them, but there's only a few of us, Elisha, that have this interest or this willingness or awareness to share these insights, because it's something that a lot of people are afraid to be who they really are. So I appreciate you asking that. But if anybody's interested, which they won't be, but if they are, maybe they'll contact you. And if enough people contact you, there may be a reason why we may have another conversation.
Okay, I got that. I got that. So that's going to be the end of the show, Ron. Thank you so very much for coming, and thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. It means a whole lot, my man.
And maybe God bless, we can do this again, the two of us.
Definitely. Well, we.
Okay.